You are standing in an alley at 11:52 p.m. on a Thursday, next to a dumpster that smells like the inside of a failure. Behind you, a payday loan office with a flickering sign. In your hand, a phone showing a bank balance of $61. 12 months from tonight, you will be standing under the glow of a skyline, holding a signed payment agreement worth $250,000. Nobody will believe how fast it happened. You barely believe it yourself. This is the exact 12 months it took. You are 27 years old. Rent is due in 6 days, and you have $61 to your name. You got laid off from a marketing agency 11 weeks ago, and every application since has gone silent. Your friend Marcus, who runs a small landscaping crew, texts you one line. I need someone who can build websites. You still do that? You haven't touched code in 2 years. You say yes anyway. You build his site in 4 nights, sleeping maybe 3 hours each one. He pays you $400. It is the first money you've made in 78 days. You do not celebrate. You screenshot the payment and stare at it for a long time. At month 1, the bottom isn't the end of the story. It's the only place a story like this can start. Word moves fast in a small town. Marcus tells a friend, who tells a friend who owns a dental office. By month 3, you have 4 clients paying $700 a month each for websites and basic ad management. $2,800 a month. Not rich, but rent is no longer a 6-day countdown. You still work from the same apartment. You still eat the same $4 lunch, but you buy a $40 domain and register an actual business name for the first time. Ridge Digital. Marcus laughs when you tell him. You gave it a name? It's 4 clients. You tell him every big thing was 4 clients once. At month 3, you're not rich. You're just no longer panicking, and panic was the thing that was actually expensive. You stop trading hours for dollars. You build a system. A template you can deploy in 6 hours instead of 40. A checklist Priya, a freelance designer you hire part-time off a job board, can run without you. You raise your price to $1,200 a month per client, because now you can serve 12 clients in the time it used to take for 4. By month 5, monthly recurring revenue hits $9,400. You hire Priya full-time. You still haven't paid yourself more than $3,000 in any single month. Everything else goes back into the business, into ads, into a part-time developer named Kenji, who takes the technical work off your plate entirely. At month 5, the business stops needing you every hour. That's the exact moment it starts being worth something to someone else. A man named Theo, who runs a small private equity roll-up buying local marketing agencies, finds Ridge Digital through a cold email you almost deleted. He flies out. You meet him at a diner because your office is still a converted bedroom. He looks at your numbers, $19,000 a month recurring, 94% client retention, 2 employees, almost no debt, and says the number out loud before you do. This is worth somewhere around $1.8 million to the right buyer. I'm not the right buyer for the whole thing, but I'll pay you $250,000 for a piece of it, structured over the next 12 months, if you keep running it. You don't answer that day. You drive home and sit in your car in the driveway for 11 minutes, the same way you sat in the alley 8 months earlier, except now the silence means something completely different. At month 8, someone else finally puts a number on what you already knew was true. They just made it official. you take the deal. Not because you needed the money. The business finally pays you $8,000 a month now, but because Theo's network can get your 12 clients in front of a market you could never reach alone. You signed the payment agreement on a Tuesday afternoon in his office downtown. The city skyline behind him lit up gold in the late afternoon sun. Marcus, your very first client, is the one who drives you home that day. He asks what it feels like. You tell him it feels exactly like nothing. No fireworks, just a number on a page that used to be a number on a phone showing $61. At month 10, the signature isn't the finish line. It's the receipt for 8 months nobody was watching. The final payment lands on a Friday at 9:14 a.m. $20,833, the same as the 11 before it. You don't check the notification right away. You're in the middle of onboarding client number 19. Ridge Digital now runs on its own. Priya manages design, Kenji manages the tech, and a system you built with 3 hours of sleep and $61 in your account now generates more in a slow month than your old salary generated in a year. You drive past the same alley on your way home. The dumpster is still there. The payday loan sign still flickers. You don't stop. You don't need to. You already know exactly what that alley taught you, and it wasn't about the money. At month 12, $250,000 was never the real prize. The system that keeps making it long after the contract ends. It's 11:52 p.m. on a Thursday. Somewhere in a different city, a 24-year-old is standing in an alley, next to a dumpster, staring at a phone that says $58. He just got a text from a friend who needs a website built. He hasn't touched code in over a year. He types back one word, yes. He doesn't know about the diner, or the payment agreement, or the skyline. He just knows rent is due in 6 days. He doesn't know any of this yet, but the clock has already started. It always starts there,